What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. Ken Fuller is already living in 2018 while we're all living in 2017. He managed to top the Indianapolis regional with Burning Abyss. What is happening here? He has managed to take this 56 card deck list and smash through a plethora of other competitors in an 8-round regional, finishing 6-1-1. We'll get into his deck list in a bit and some really hot stuff in the side deck that I personally think is really good against spirals myself, but this just happened to be an insane weekend for him, taking Burning Abyss and topping a regional in this era. It is insane. Let's go ahead and get into it. Round 1, Infernoids, a draw. Round 2, Pendulum. Round 3, Pendulum. Round 4, Spiral. Round 5, Pendulum, loss. So these are his loss and draw, and he wins out from here. 6, Monarchs. Monarchs round 6. What is happening at this regional? Round 7, Spirals once again, and round 8, Pendulums. Taking it down against plenty of Pendulum Magicians and Spirals. I think this man's was ready for the format with some of these next level techs. His shoutouts are to Austin Kirkham, Jesse Lackey, Josh Dowlin, and Ben Doman. I really like a lot of things about this deck list, and we're going to get into it, but I'm just going to take another moment to say, man, congrats. You did it with Burning Abyss in the fall of 2017. I can't remember, actually. It's been over, I think, half a year since I've gotten to feature a Burning Abyss deck list, if I'm not wrong. So, this is kind of exciting. We've got main deck Kaijus with Jizukiru, Radiant, and Gamasil. To note, Radiant here actually has later synergy with the deck using Allure of Darkness, so I really do like that he included that Kaiju. That would be why it's there over, say, another 3300 for Slumber or something else. It really does fit, and although 2800 can be hard for the extra deck overall to get over, but we got a new addition in the extra deck also in Decode Talker to help get over it. We've got one Graph, Malbranch of the Burning Abyss, because you can only play one Seer, because you can only play one. A Barbar, a single Barbar here floating around. Calcab, Rubik, because we're synchro summoning always. Double Libic, triple Farfa, shoutouts to the mans. I expect them in the comment section somewhere. 3 Skarms, 1 Tour Guide, and 3 Fiendish Rhino Warriors. So this is kind of what allows, this card specifically allows you to continue under Master Rule 4 right now until we get our Burning Abyss link sometime in probably 2018, because he allows your Burning Abyss monsters to not destroy themselves. Fiend-type monsters you control except Fiendish Warrior Rhino cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. It even protects them from their own effects. That's how this man is living under Master Rule 4 with the Code Talker on the field. He then is able to continue with Rhino Warrior and go up into other things. Now here's the outside strategies. The double Fairy Tail Snow, very, very good against a lot of the matchups. You're able to lock their extra monster zone should they go into something within the extra monster zone. Let's say they want to summon, you know, a Synchro with Pendulums or an Xyz. You flip it face down. Basically, as long as they're not putting a Link monster there, you're blocking them off. So if they have access to Snow already, you want to be very, very careful playing against this deck. Double Vanity's Fiend. This was kind of one of my calls of the format that I did wrong in Pendulum Magicians. I personally should have played Fossil Dino within Pendulum Magicians for my YCS. But anytime you're summoning Vanity's Fiends and you don't play against Trickstars, it is so strong. Trickstars keep playing Honest and Eater of Millions, although Eater of Millions can't pop out against them. It has to already be out. But Honest just really wrecks Vanity's Fiends, and it stole my tournament from me. But as you see, this man's didn't have to play against a single Trickstar, so he didn't have to think about his Vanity's Fiends plays. We got 3 Gofus, which, odd enough, helps Vanity's Fiend. You're able to just special him out, special 2 tokens, tribute for Vanity's Fiend if you want, but that's pretty much every monster in this deck almost. Very few things eat your actual normal summon, so that's why he's so good. But here's your instant to call the talker if you're using, especially if you have Rhino Warrior in your hand to continue on. Very good in the deck in my opinion, and Decode being able to tribute to stop the targeting cards, and always getting advantage back with things like Dante, pretty good. DD Crow kind of surprised me here. I don't know too much about it. I guess you're able to stop Quick Fix and perhaps some other things in the format. It just kind of threw me for a loop, being in the deck as one of the major hand traps along a single Ogre and Max C. I did not expect to see this one here in a main deck, but that Dinosaur player that we featured yesterday played 3 DD Crows, so like it does seem to be one of the counters to the meta. I mean, it's searchable in Spiral, so it makes sense that it would be doing what it does, but you can also use it with Allure. It's got its merits and synergy within the deck. We have Dark Hole, Reigeki, and Kaiju Slumber for the board wipe squad. An interesting card I don't think I've seen in the top cut in a hot second. Enemy Controller. I would kind of expect, you know, Mind Control or something, but this allows him to take his opponent's monsters and link summon should he want and then continue. Or it just, you know, allows him to tribute whatever it might be. You can special tribute, special use a token, take it, tribute. Like, there's so much that Econ actually has synergy within the deck. You know, this comes back, you tribute it, bring it back again for free. I really do actually respect this choice. It seems to have the most synergy in this deck rather than any other deck. You know, summon, get effects, tribute. Like, it really works in here. Foolish Burial, of course, this is one of the best decks to be playing it in. And then we've got Double Pot of Desires. I'm guessing not playing 3 because he doesn't ever want to see the other when he's banishing 10. I just know the feeling is so heart-sinking when you activate this banish 10 and draw 1. It sucks. We got the, that grass looks greener. We're always trying to mill 56 cards. There's still going to be a lot of decks that are lower. I would always be putting this in the deck. It's sometimes just auto win, especially with 30 monsters. And some traps that get value here in a second. Double Twin Twisters. I like this choice. Burning Abyss never really, you know, cares about discarding from the hand. You're always going to have some kind of card that's going to get you something when you're discarding it, unless you just have the weirdest hand. We've got Breakthrough Skill, one of the traps that I mentioned that gets extra value in the graveyard. I think this is actually relatively strong, this format. A lot of the times when you stop one of their cards, you kind of stop their whole turn. Like, I'm going to go ahead and hit drone. You can't see the top of my deck. What you gonna call it? This is actually a really good ratio of monster to spell and trap. It's almost a 50-50. 2 Fiends Griefing, and why I mentioned that is for Spiral Super Agent calling on your deck. 2 copies of Fiend Griefing, basically a Foolish Burial for the Fiend type monsters, but it also shuffles cards back into the deck, so if they get Quick Fix in the graveyard or try to get it going, it's actually a pretty big counter to them. 3 Horn of Heavens, 2 Paleozoic Dynamiscus. This is the better karma cut these days, although a lot of the main decks actually counter traps. There's very few traps you can actually activate this on because Torrential would wipe it. So in the main deck, actually bringing it out, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 other cards only that it works with in the main, but the side's got some spice. We've got 3 Solemn Strikes, 1 Solemn Warning. The Solemn Brigade in full. We've seen that this is also very good against Spirals, and most of the time Pendulum Magicians. Pendulum Magicians can try to set up through a strike sometimes, but when their hand's not the best, they can't do anything about this card. The side deck has another DD Crow, 2 Droll and Lockbirds, 3 Dimensional Barriers, and here's the card that I think is really, really good that our duelists use. Magic Deflector. Oh yeah. For the rest of this turn, negate all equip, field, continuous, and quick play spell cards on the field. Let's type a certain deck over here. Let's look. An equip spell. Another equip spell if they choose to play it. All these spells, they seem to be negate-renoed by Magic Deflector. I really like this card a lot. It also shuts down things such as Cosmic Cyclone that they would be playing to get rid of your back row. That's the spell and trap destruction choice of a lot of these duelists. Cosmic Cyclone is able to take care of True Draco cards, and it helps a lot against the True Draco matchups. And banishing the cards, there's just no reason you don't want to, because even in the mirror matches and stuff, you want to be banishing Rescue, not letting it go to the graveyard. So everyone seems to be going with Cosmic Cyclone. Great counter to that as well. And you kind of shut off the rest of their turn. You don't let them set up very well. 3 Mask of Restrict. I'm guessing for the True Draco matchup, which he didn't see at all, but he was prepared. We've got 2 Unending Nightmare, I would assume for the Pendulum matchup, and he did face that quite a bit. Looks like 3 of those decks. And 2 Unwavering Bond. So when your opponent activates a Pendulum monster's effect or an effect of a card in the Pendulum Zone, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. I see ya. And then in the extra deck, we got kind of the usual suspects. We got Dante Pilgrim, Virgil, Beatrice, triple Dante Traveler of the Burning Abyss, 1 Equipped Engineer, 1 number 47 Nightmare Shock, F-Zero. All right, it's been a while since I saw this dude. He doesn't target, does he? That's his whole thing. That's how he beats Cosmo, right? So, like, I could see, like, Sleeper actually can't really deal with an F-Zero, can it? Cannot be destroyed by battle or and neither player takes any. Oh, you can just destroy this by card effect, can't you? Never mind. I'm sorry. At the end of the damage step, cannot be destroyed by battle, and neither player takes any damage from attacks involving this card. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can take control of that monster. If this face-up card on the field would be destroyed by a card effect, you can detach. Okay, so that's how it lives through. It's been forever since I looked at this card, and I was like, there's a way that it lived through Dark Destroyer. Well, there it is. So yeah, I can kind of take Sleepy and then make Sleepy do things, can't it? Well, I guess they would just use Sleeper's effect and it's been used that turn. But you can still take Sleeper and then make a Decode Talker. That seems decent if you want to commit to that. We've got Super Quantum, Mecha Beast, Grand Pulse, and the Phantom Knights of Breaksword. And then 2 Decodes, 2 Proxy. He always wants this to be live. He's playing triple Gofu. He's trying to link summon with his Burning Abyss. So there you have it. An entire 56-card Burning Abyss list that managed to top 8 the Indianapolis Regionals with Ken Fuller. Thank you so much, Ken Fuller. I really enjoyed this list. It's been so long since I've seen a Burning Abyss list, and I am so happy to go through it for you, man. Thank you so much for submitting the profile to House of Champs.